Hey, welcome into My Sweet Home Living. Today I'm going to show you how to make a so quick and easy bow cozy. Whether you want to make it for yourself or for a gift, it's almost the perfect gift for almost anyone on your Christmas or gift giving list. So come on in. I'm going to show you how to make that today during this special 45-minute live craft show that is also cross streaming over into the one and only Craft Around the Clock group on Facebook. If you enjoy live crafting, we invite you to come over and join us. So welcome in today. I hope you're staying warm and cozy. I'm going to make sure that our live stream is being shared over into the Craft Around the Clock group. As you're rolling in, let me know that you are here. Are you here? Come on in. I can't wait to show you what we're making today. We're making a quick and easy bowl cozy. What is a bowl cozy? Do you know what a bowl cozy is? I'm going to show you today, but first we have some important business to take care of. You all, look at this sweet little snowman. I have to attach his little pine cones right here on his hat. But this was our last live craft show. If you missed it, you missed a dandy. This is a super sweet little handmade snowman. I don't know. It's called a door greeter, I think is what it's called, but you can call it anything you want. It's just a cute primitive snowman. This has been up for raffle over the last day and a half, and I get to announce the winner today. Hello, Miss Phyllis. Good morning. Well, I almost said good morning. I'm always live in the morning, but today had a little bit of scheduling switcheroo, so we're on in the afternoon. Hey, Miss Shelley, Rosanna. I'm so glad y'all are in here. Come on in. This is maybe a little bit different crowd than what we're used to. But I get to give away this primitive snowman today. If you missed this was a raffle for a $10 donation to our friend Tamara. We've been fundraising for her this week in the Craft on the Clock group. And a $10 donation to her PayPal was entering you in for a chance at the giveaway for this sweet snowman doll. You were to email your receipts to me. I know many of you emailed those to me. Some of you even sent them to me via Messenger. If you did that, I got you as well. My email kept kicking back messages to you saying that it was full. However, I kept receiving them, even though it was telling you that it was full. I know Miss Pat and Miss Mary and several others said that it kept saying it was full, but I received them, so I don't know what's going on. But anyway, maybe we were just kind of overwhelming the email. How are you, Miss Sherry? So the name that I have drawn, my son Sawyer helped me out here with this. He drew out the name. I put all of your names on a wheel. He spun, and the name that was selected was Mary Snyder. So Miss Mary Snyder is one of our regular and loyal watchers. So we're so excited. Miss Mary, I need you to send me a message with your address so I can get him shipped and on his way to you. He's ready. He's ready to come your way. So I'll need your mailing information, so I know you'll get that to me. Hello, Miss Laurie. Hi, Miss Esmeralda. Oh, yes, I'm actually going to make another one because that video, I wasn't able to show you everything. I also did send out the information for the pattern. If you want to purchase your pattern, they're on sale from the Etsy shop that I purchased these from. She has them on sale, I think, until December 18th or 19th. I don't remember which is next Thursday. Is the 18th. So it's only like $3 and some change for the pattern, and you can use it as many times as you want. You can print it out as many times as you need to. So once you purchase it, it's good to go. That information was sent to you in all the places a couple of days ago. Was it yesterday or the day before? I don't remember. But it's there. So you might need to go back a post or two. Check out my broadcast on my Telegram channel, my YouTube community as well. If you're watching this replay on YouTube, my videos are streamed vertical. So it's best viewing for you is if you're using the YouTube app on your mobile device or iPad or something like that. You'll get up close view on what we're working on. Yes, Miss Mary, Mayor, as some of us lovingly call her. It's coming her way. He's coming her way. We're going to do an in-depth sew-along class with this, and I'll be giving, as soon as I can find a date and time, I'll schedule that and let you all know. So if you want to purchase the pattern, I will schedule that sew along and we can work through it together. I'll show you step by step how to paint and color him, distress him, do the stitching on the eyes, and a little bit of the primitive touch-a-roos that I did to kind of finish him off. But I'll show you that from beginning to end, how to do that. It's not difficult, but it is a little bit time consuming. So I have to be sure that I allot enough time to be able to finish it from start to finish on the video. Okay, Miss Mary, she's here. We made her day. I'm so glad. We're so excited for you. I'm so excited for you. Well, today we're making bowl cozies. Bowl cozies. That's what we're doing. That's almost kind of hard to say. Bowl cozies. Bowl cozies. Bowl cozies? Yeah, bowl cozies. Winter is the perfect time for soup or warming up anything warm to eat, right? Like chili or vegetable soup or, I don't know, chicken and dumplings, whatever's your favorite chicken noodle soup in bowls, right? And sometimes, you pull those bowls out of the microwave and they're hot. Well, today I'm going to show you how to make a bowl cozy, and they are perfect for gift-giving ideas, okay? And you don't need a whole lot of material, and you don't need a whole lot of skills to do it. So let's do it. I'm going to show you how today. You're going to need 2 pieces of fabric, your choice, and 2 pieces of cotton batting. You will need all of your materials, whether it's your fabric, your thread, your batting, all needs to be 100% cotton for this project today, okay? Hello, Miss Laura. Hello, Miss Rosanna. Hello. All right, the bowl cozies are so much fun. They're kind of like a little blanket or a little scarf for your soup bowls, okay? Something in between like a pot holder and a towel, but it hugs your soup bowl and it makes it so much easier and manageable to pull in and out of the microwave, okay? You love bowl cozies? All right. See, everybody will love a bowl cozy, and you can make them for boys or girls or whatever, just depending on your fabric choices, okay? Now, some of the items that I've already shown you all how to make, we made this little mini hot pad, okay? I've been using it sort of as a little candle. Oh, I just knocked the flame out on my candle. I've been using it as a little candle hot pad. And then I've also shown you how to make the little wristlet key fobs, the little key fob wristlets. These go together. Along with the bowl cozy, we'll make a wonderful little mini gift-giving set that you can give to almost anybody, okay? Can I repost the buntings video? Are you talking about the Crocs, the stoneware Croc buntings? I might be making a Christmas one very soon. They're also good for ice cream bowls. Yes, absolutely. You can make them for just about any size you need, okay? I've seen plate cozies. I've seen pie plate cozies. I've seen actual plate cozies. I'm going to show you just a standard bowl cozy. Get you on their feet and running, and then you can make them any size that you want. I want you to share your photos with me. You can post them here in the comments of this video, or you can post them in my All Thing Primitive group. But you can also now post your photos over in my YouTube community. How about that? Isn't that nifty? Anybody can post their photos over there as well. Okay, we need to grab, do I have a Sharpie marker? That is one thing I needed to grab before I went live, and I don't think I did. I think I have one over here. Let me grab a Sharpie. Yes, I did. I was like, uh-oh, maybe not. I have 3 over here, and probably all of them are about dry, but that's okay. We'll make do. 3. I'm going to use a Sharpie. A Marky Sharpie. You just received your key fob guides. Oh, good. You're going to make your key fob wristlets. Oh, I can't wait. Okay. I have selected 2 pieces of fabric that are going to coordinate with what I've already kind of made, so that this will kind of go along as kind of like a matching set. I just selected a dark green and this real pretty like cranberry-ish burgundy color, and it will be reversible, so you can do either side, okay? So you'll need 2 pieces of fabric that are 10-inch squares. That means 10 inches on each side, okay? And you're going to need 2 pieces of cotton batting as well. Remember, we're using all 100% cotton materials today, even including your thread. There are some heat safe battings, but 100% cotton batting will do the same exact thing. Okay, so don't go out and buy anything special. Just use the same batting that you've probably pulled out and been using for other projects. I'm going to use 2 pieces, 2 layers, okay? You can use 1, but I'm going to use 2 today. There are multiple ways to make this. I'm just going to show you how I'm making mine, and then you can make it any way you want, okay? My squares of my fabric I have already cut to size. Are y'all proud of me? I've already cut them down to 10-inch squares. Now my batting, do I have it? Let me make sure. Oh, I do already have it cut up. It's 10 inches too, so hot dog, we're good to go. Now, what we're going to do next, we're going to need a long ruler, okay? We are going to, this ruler is not my longest one. Let me find my long one, which I'm probably not going to be able to find. You would think a ginormous ruler would be hard to lose, right? But when you're rearranging everything in your crafting, oh yeah, it walks away. Here we go. Here's my longer ruler. I love these clear rulers. All right. We are going to, let me test this Sharpie. That one's, it's dry. The wind is just roaring outside today, and it's hitting all this side of the house, and I'm surrounded by forest, so it's like, I feel like I'm in like some blizzard, but it's not snowing. But it sounds like it could be. All right, so from corner to corner, I'm going to draw. Let's just move this camera so y'all can see what we're doing. All right, let me zoom in a little bit. Hey, Miss Dana. These fabrics that I am using today are from our sweet friend, Miss Esmeralda at Love It's Garden. And not too long ago, last week or week before, she had a Buy It Now post where she posted a lot of the fabric choices that she had available. And you could hop on her page and claim some. If she has another one of those sales, I will be sure to let you all know in my broadcast channel. All right. So from corner to corner, I'm going to draw a diagonal line with my Sharpie, just like so. All right. Now from the other corner, we're going to repeat that same step from corner to corner. All right. I need to do the same thing to this. I have 2 pieces of batting here. I need to repeat that same process on both pieces of batting, okay? Just about everything that we're doing in these first few steps, you're going to repeat those steps twice, okay? Here we go. And from corner to corner. Remember, these are 10-inch squares. 10-inch squares. All right, there we go. Now, what I'm going to do next, let me think about this. I need to mark my middle point here. These are 10-inch squares, so I need to mark my middle point all along each side. That's what I need to do. So if I have a 10-inch square, my middle point is going to be 5 inches, of course. So I'm just going to make little dots along each side at the 5-inch mark, and that's going to help me with a few of my next steps, okay? See how I've made that mark right there, right there. Let's keep going around. Oh my gracious. The trees are just swaying and roaring out there. No Sharpie marks on that table. All right. And then a 5-inch mark right there. Okay. All the way around, I have little marks. So now what I'm going to do is take my straight edge ruler. I'm going to have to stand it for this because I'm a little too short and I won't be able to see my lines. I'm going to basically connect from side to side each of those dots. And you're going to see that we're basically going to have like a little star pattern or like a snowflake pattern. So connect those. And X and then a line drawn each way. Almost looks like we're making a pizza right there, okay? Now let's repeat that with this piece of batting. The 5-inch mark. Ooh, getting little fuzzies. Hello, Miss Cindy. How are you? The wind is so bad you couldn't keep. Oh my goodness, yes. All of your Christmas decorations. Oh my goodness, yes. Yes. It's bad. I think they said the winds were going to be kind of like sustained around 30 miles an hour today. And it's definitely picked up as the day has gone on. Okay. Now, connect these dots. Whoop. I am using a Sharpie. This is not going to show when we're finished. So if you do anything like this, you might want to be sure that it's permanent or one of those invisible. But it's kind of hard to mark on the batting. Oh, we got one more step. Let's get the smaller ruler now. Now, on each straight side, we have to do a few more marks, okay? Hi, Miss Karen. From each little dot that we made on each side, we have to measure up 2 inches and make a mark, okay? So use that little clear ruler. Remember I told you how handy these are? If these aren't on your Christmas list, this would be a great gift idea for someone. If someone's looking to buy you something. They're relatively inexpensive, and I believe you can find them on Amazon or Hobby Lobby. You might even be able to find them at some of your other craft stores as well. I'm not sure. So I'm just going up 2 inches from each straight side. Okay, you see what I'm doing there? I'm not worrying about the corners right now. I'm just focusing on these straight, for the lines that come up from the straight side. All right. There we go. Now let me repeat that over here real quick. Like I said, remember each thing you're doing to one, you're going to repeat it to the other piece of batting. Okay. Repetition helps our brains remember things. So it's kind of a good thing. Okay. Now what we're going to do along each straight side, we're going to make a mark on 1 inch away from this center point. Okay. So using that ruler again, I'm going to line it up and 1 inch away. This is where my center point is. Okay. We're going to go over 1 inch and make a dot. And we're going to go over to the right and make a dot. So let me show you what this looks like right here. Do you see that? That's what you need to do along each straight edge. All right, my lights are flickering. I hope we don't lose power. That's very possible with the way this wind is whipping. Okay, and then I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to basically draw a line from that top dot down to the bottom dot. And then let me show you what it's going to look like. All right. Woohoo. All right, that's what it looks like right there. Now, if it's not perfect, we're not going to fret, okay? As long as it's close, you're good. All right, so y'all tell me what you're doing today. Well, I've mark these dots and make these real quick lines. And I'm going to be popping up and looking over at the comments over to my left, over here on my iPad. Hey, Miss Mary Lou, how are you? Are they Mr. Pen rulers? I don't think they have a brand. Oh, no, they're Fiskars. Well, this one is a Fiskars, the big one. These smaller ones, these are Mr. Pen. So they're basically the same, just a different brand. So I guess different brands have the same, their same version or their version of them. But I don't notice any difference between the two brands. And I think I've grabbed them at all different places. So just whatever you can find. All right. So this is going to help us get that rounded edge, the rounded shape to it, if you will, whenever we sew these here in just a moment. So this one is finished, so you can get a good look at what that one looks like. And like once again, these are 10-inch squares of batting that we are starting with. And you will also need 10-inch squares for your fabric choices. You'll need 2 of each. You'll need 2 pieces of fabric and 2 pieces of batting. 10-inch squares. And if your fabrics coordinate, that's awesome. But if they don't, that's fine too. Okay, this is something that is functional. It's one of those gifts that is more practical than it is pretty per se, but you can make it practical and pretty. You can make it both. You just have to think about that when it comes time to making your fabric choices, okay? And I am making mine both practical and pretty today with my fabric choices. And it will coordinate with the little mini hot pad that we made a couple of videos back. And these will be part of a little mini gift set that I am making. And I have many more that I'll be making in the next, I guess it was 2 weeks to Christmas, I think. So in the next couple of weeks. All right, I have little bundles of batting bunnies there. Not dust bunnies, but batting bunnies. All right, we're done with the rulers. Yoo-hoo! All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take, hi, Miss Deborah. How are you? Hello, Miss Julie from Oregon. Adeline, I hope I say your name right. Aldine. I just got back from the antique store where I bought bows to go with the cozies I made. Are you serious? That is awesome. See, great minds think alike. All right, you're going to take your fabric pieces that you're using and you're going to put them pretty side down. See, that's my pretty side. I'm going to place it face down. This one's my pretty side. I'm putting it face down. Now I'm going to take my batting and I'm going to put the marked side face up. And I'm going to line that up as close as I can. There we go. All right. If you want to, you can take your, take a pin and pin those together to kind of keep them from shifting around on you. I'm just going to put 2 pins in there, kind of in the center here. One in the top center, one in the bottom center, and that will keep it together. Okay. So this is what it looks like so far. Let's do that to the other one. Pretty side down and then marked side up with your pieces of batting. All right, let's put another pin. Pins in this one. And then we're going to take it to the sewing machine. And here's what we're going to do on the sewing machine. I'm taking you along with me. Okay, I'm going to show you every step of the way. You're going to sew. You're going to do a straight stitch. Think about your thread. Use a color of thread that will match or coordinate with both pieces. I'm just using a very dark green for mine, and it will show on both sides, okay? Or I can sew this one with my green thread, and then I can sew this one with a burgundy thread. Whatever, it just needs to be 100% cotton, okay? I'm doing a straight stitch at about 2 inch in stitch length, okay? I'm going to sew from corner to corner, and then from corner to corner. Basically, I'm going to sew this X, okay? See the X or the plus sign, however your eyes see it. Back stitch when you start and when you stop, okay? That will lock in your stitching and so that it doesn't come unraveled. Hey, Miss Jan. Hey, Miss Stephanie and Jackie and Pam. Miss Esmeralda from Lovett's Garden is in the house. How are you, sweet friend? Miss Esmeralda has been taking good care of her cowboy. If you have not heard, Miss Esmeralda's husband, Chad, received the greatest Christmas miracle of all times for himself and for his family. He received his kidney transplant last week, and we have been praying so hard for them for so long, and God is just continuing to cover them, carry them, and we are so happy and excited for them. All right, let's stitch, shall we? All right, we're going to back stitch at the beginning and at the end. We got the beginning done. Now I'm going to sew all the way down to this corner. So let's go. Woohoo. I'm getting, hold on here. Getting cantankerous on me. Where'd my little skewer go? I rethreaded this right before I started and I didn't test it out. So I need to make sure something's not wrong here. It just wanted to get a little jumbled up on me. So let's test it out. If it's not threaded properly, we may have to rethread it, which is no biggie. It's totally doable. Let me make sure everything looks okay, but you never know. All right, here, let's give it a go again. All right, needle down, back stitch. Yeah, there we go. All the way down to the corner. Just follow that line that you made with your marker. And we're using just a straight stitch. Stitch length is about 2. All right, we're getting close to the corner, so I'm going to slow down and get ready to do a back stitch at the end. We're good. Let's pull that out and snip our thread tails. That's what we have so far. Do you see that line, that stitch line? Now we're going to repeat that same process with the other corner, the other 2 corners. All right. Oh, I just pulled my thread out down there. Oh, I do that. Okay, hang on here. Down. That's why I always say when you cut your thread tails, make sure that you leave a tail from your machine that is about 4 or 5 inches long, because if not, it will pull right out sometimes on you. All right, let me get that pushed under and we're good. Okay, put my presser foot back down. Now, see these tails that come out from the side of my machine? Sometimes when I turn my wheel to lower my needle, it will kind of want to pull out slack on you. And sometimes if you don't have enough slack there, it will pull that thread right out of your needle. And that's what happened to me. All right, no biggie, we fixed it. Back stitch a couple. Now let's go forward and let's go all the way to that corner. There we go, smooth sailing. If you've pinned it together, you want to be sure that you're watching for those pins, those straight pins that you put in your fabric. You don't want to run over those with your needle because they can break your needle. Oh, I already raised that up on. I was a step ahead there. Okay. I trimmed that tail thread, but see, I didn't leave it quite long enough, so I'm just going to pull a little bit of slack out. Okay. Make sure that I keep enough slack for the next time. All right, is step 1 of our stitching. Now I'm going to take these straight pins out. We might need them again here in just a minute. But what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it in half. Actually, I'm going to sew these straight lines across too, aren't I? That would give me more of my quilted look. Let's go ahead and do that. I want that quilted look. So, from side to side and corner to corner, all the way around. These will come together pretty quick, especially if you're not too busy talking like I am. Get to talking and time gets away from me. We're speeding. All right. Now what we're going to do, I still have some thread tails there that I need to probably trim off. I'm not going to worry too much about them. I can always pick those off later. Now we're going to fold this in half, okay? And when I fold this in half, these are the sides. This is the time where I'm going to be looking at my triangles, my little small triangles, okay? So let me take some clips this time. I'm going to take some clips, and I'm just going to clip this where I have it folded, okay? Make sure that you have it folded right in half. And each little line where you have your triangles now, we're going to stitch. So we're going to stitch this one, and we're going to stitch here, okay? We'll get that done. We're going to fold it, unfold it, and do it to the other side. All right. So here we go. We want to back stitch when we start and when we stop. Okay. See how simple that one was? All right, now let's go to this one. We're going to do the same thing. All right. Let's stitch when you start and when you stop. Okay. Now, we're going to unfold it. You see I have thread tails everywhere. It's kind of like glue strings when you're working with hot glue. We'll clean them all up in a minute. Now we're going to see what we have so far. We're already starting to get a little bit of that bowl shape. Now we're going to take it and we're going to fold it to the opposite sides. Okay, now this one will be a little bit trickier because you're starting to get a little bit of a curve. Just match your corners up and clip them, okay? And that'll get it where you have those lines, those triangles. You want that to match up there. All right, clip those and let's, whoop, that one's not folded quite evenly yet. There we go. Clip it and then stitch and stitch, okay? I'm going to sail right through this because I've already shown you and explained it. So I'm just going to put right on. Okay, we're going to go to this side, do the same. All right, lower my needle down. All right, needle up, press your foot up, and here we go. Let me clip some of these tails. All right, and then we're gonna unfold this, and you're gonna see what's coming to shape here. Let me move that out of the way here. We've got about 9 minutes. I want to make sure that we get this done. See what we have here. So everywhere we've stitched, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to, see where I'm cutting? I'm going to cut on this side of the line there, and that's going to cut off that excess. Okay. Okay, let's go to this one. You don't want to cut into your stitch line. That'll give you a hole in your cozy. Okay? That's what we have so far. We're going to repeat that same process to the other one. Okay? So, you all talk amongst yourselves. Pretend we're playing Christmas music in the background. And I'm going to sail right through this one. First, I'm going to stitch together. Oh, don't pull on me. That little tail just about did it. Did it do it? Oh, it's right there. Get in there. Get in there. We saved it. Okay. We're going to stitch from corner to corner. Needle down. Back stitch when we start and when we stop. Nope. It's not wanting to move on me. Sometimes if you start with just not enough slack in your fabric, that batting wants to get yoinked right down in there. Come on out of there. There we go. I'm just going to clip that and I'm going to stick it right back in there and we're going to start over. This time I'm going to make sure that I get that little corner piece out far enough behind my needle so that it gives it enough slack so that it doesn't want to pull it down in the bottom. All right. Back stitch. Now we're good. Corner to corner, let's sew on. All you gotta do is just guide it. You don't have to force it, push it, pull it, or anything. Just guide it so that it follows that line that you've made. Okay. Pull that up. Clip your tails far enough away. Now go to the other corner. And let's do this one. Here we go. Just watch for any straight pins that you put in your fabric. You do not want to stitch over those. It'll break your needle, your machine needle. Now we can take our straight pins out and we're going to stitch from our sides to side. And really I only have to start right there before that little corner, that little mark. I don't have to go all the way to the edge. I can just go right here to this little tick mark that we've made. One more. Now for this one, I probably should have switched my thread color to like a burgundy. I'm not going to worry about it too much. My colors are they're going to complement each other really well, so I'm good with that. All right. Now comes where we're going to fold it in half. All right, we have 6 minutes to get this finished, and I am bound and determined to get it finished. So, y'all hang with me. We're speeding. We're going to fold it in half. Fold it in half. Match up your lines as close as you can to those little marks. From this side to this side, make sure you kind of match them up. Okay, and then clip it. All right, and we're gonna sew little corner lines. Okay, these are actually called darts. Did you know that? You're sewing darts. How about that for some fancy terminology? Somebody ask you, well, how are your sewing skills? I can sew some darts. They'll be really impressed. All right, let's do this side. And then a back stitch when you start and stop. Okay. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and cut off the excess right there since I'm right here. I'm looking. Okay, now we're going to unfold and we're going to fold it the opposite direction. We're going to fold it this way. If you have questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. I'll try to watch. Oh, it's not hard at all, Miss Cindy. It's not. You just got to do it. And I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I mean, if you mess it up, it's okay, right? It's okay. You're going to learn from your mistakes. All right. So really, by making mistakes, you're going to help yourself. You're going to help teach yourself. All right. And this one. Get those thread tails out of the way. Okay. All right, now what we're going to do, we're going to clip off these corners that we've just darted. You can see I have thread tails everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Okay. Unfold it. And here's where comes the fun part. We're going to see it come together. So you're going to have two pieces that are exactly the same, right? All right. So here's a pretty side up. You're going to take this one and you're going to turn it wrong side out, and you're going to place it down in the other one, okay? You're going to match up your corners, and you're going to clip them. All right. And what you're going to do is you are going to now stitch around the edge, okay? Around the edge, but you're going to leave an opening. So for example, I'm going to start stitching like right here, okay? I'm going to stitch all the way around, back up, and then I'm going to leave. That's what I'm going to do. Oh, there we go. I said I was trying to reconnect. Hopefully it stays good. I'm going to lower my needle down into my fabric, okay? And I'm going to start with a back stitch. So I'm going to push down my little reverse button there. Let's tilt the camera up just a tiny bit. Will it stay there? There we go. Right here, I'm going to press my reverse button. I'm going to back stitch a couple of times, and that's going to lock in my stitching. So now I'm going to go forward. We're going to go around each side, but we're going to leave that opening, okay? We don't want to close it completely up, because if we do that, we won't be able to turn it right side out when we're done stitching. Did that work? You ever have that moment of like disbelief? Okay, did that really work? Because my thread is going down in that batting. I couldn't hardly even see if my threads were there, my stitches. That's funny. All right, so be sure that you have your edges of your fabric lined up really well. Sometimes that batting will kind of stretch a little bit, so just make sure that you have your edges of your fabric lined up as a good guide to make sure you have that lined up good. Okay, so now I'm going to scoot this little clip down a little bit, and let's just sew right down this side. Okay, I'm getting close to my clip, so I'm going to take that clip off. And I'm just going to be sure that this is kind of on the fold. It's kind of where we have our darts. So as we go over this, I just want to maybe slow down just a tiny bit, because I'm going to have to just pivot just a tiny bit as we go around this bend of our fold, okay? Now I'm ready to come right down this side. Let's go. Let's go. All right, I'm getting close to that clip, so I'm going to take it off. I'm getting close to that corner, so I'm going to stop with my needle down in my fabric. I'm going to pivot, and we're going to go down this other side. I can't wait to unfold this and see what it looks like. Okay, stitch right along, stitching right along. Okay, I'm getting close to that little dart. I think the UPS truck is here. I hear it. I hear it. And my rooster's crowing. Somebody's definitely here. Front porch cam is picking it up too. We got all the alerts going off around here. Okay, now we're going to go down this side. Down to the corner. Okay. Now I'm going to pivot. And remember, our start and stop spot is right here. So as long as I have that marked, as long as you mark it, it'll be easier for you not to forget. Because, you know, you get in kind of in your groove and you're like, oh, before you know it, you've stitched all the way around it. And you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot to leave my opening. That happens. It does. It so happens. Okay, here we go. I need my needle down so I can turn it just a little bit. I will say you never want to leave your opening right on a corner because you will not unfold very pretty. It leaves a little bit of a wonkiness to it. So always kind of start in the middle of one of your sides, or leave that opening sort of in the middle of your side is what I'm trying to say. Okay. We're at our stopping point. Almost there. All right, back stitch. Now my needle is up so I can raise my presser foot, and we're gonna pull it away from the machine a little bit. We wanna leave a little bit of that tail, these tails, okay? This tail, the thread for our sewing machine. All right. Now we're gonna slide this back for a minute, and I'm going to unfold it. Before I do that, I'm going to clip some of these obnoxious thread tails that are bugging the blazes out of me. Let's do that. Okay. You know, some people have watchdogs. Some people have roosters. A rooster. My rooster will tell me when somebody's here. He will tell me if he sees something in the yard, he'll just start crowing. Okay, I have all of my thread tails trimmed, I believe, on these, okay? So here's what I'm going to do. Let me zoom out. Woohoo. Zoom. Come on. Sometimes it's like the pickiest thing ever. There we go. There we go. Hey, Miss Brenda. We got Brenda and Brenda. Okay. Here's my spot where I have left open, okay? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to slowly turn this right side out. This is one of my least favorite things to do. You need a whole bottle of patience. Hey, Miss Lisa. Oh, Miss Lisa Allen from Lisa's Pretty Little Things. She had the cutest Christmas tree project last night. And, I was watching her right before I dozed off to sleep. That wasn't too bad. All right, we got some thread tails that on the outside. Okay. Now, you can use a like a skewer stick to help get those corners out. They make little turner tools. This was a free gift that I got in something. We're going to use that to turn out these corners, okay? And it's just going to press out those corners so that they're nice, neat, and crisp, okay? You do not want to use your scissors. You'll poke a hole right through it. I know you won't think so, but it will. There's something to that metal on those blades that just, it will puncture a hole right through that corner before you know it. Okay. Do I have, oh, I was like, where's that other corner at? It was still tucked way down in there. Well, where's my opening? Let's get this corner pulled out. Yes, chopsticks work great. I will say that you want some thicker chopsticks because this is pretty hefty. We've put 2 layers of batting, so sometimes those chopsticks aren't quite tough enough. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Well, I didn't get this corner. Let's get this little corner. And you may decide that you only want to use one piece of batting, okay? It's totally up to you. We're going to get this completely turned out. I don't know which side I like best. I kind of like, there's both. You can do both. There's no right or wrong. It's just whatever your preference. So now what I'm going to do, this is where I need to finish up. So I'm going to take my fingers, and on the inside there, I'm going to basically fold that down towards the inside, okay, to mimic that seam that I already had going. Now this will take a little bit of a little bit of finagling. Just pinch it, get it placed where you want it, and I'm going to clip it. Now, it may help to iron it to kind of give it a crease. I'm going to use my seam roller real quick. Let me grab my seam roller. That way it'll just kind of press those pieces down a little bit so they don't want to just naturally just unfold on me until I get them stitched. This seam roller just kind of presses them down and gives them a good crease. Whoop, that one just unrolled right there. Hold on. Okay. Now, I am going to go ahead and clip that though. Now what we're going to do, our last step, and then we'll be completely finished with this, is to make a straight stitch all the way around the outside. Now that we have this turned right side out, okay? So this is where you want to pick your thread color to coordinate, okay? If you have a thread color that will match both, then you're good. If not, you might want to put a different color on the top versus your bottom. That is doable. If, depending on what thread you put on top, will show, and then the thread on the bottom will show that color. So mix and match, do a little test sheet, whatever you need to do to test it out, your colors, but it's not a big deal. As long as your thread coordinates with something that you're using, you're good. Now I'm going to stitch as close to the edge as I possibly can, and leave a little bit. Let me think about this. I don't want it. Let's see. I think what I might do, I have to make sure that my stitching is close enough to the edge to grab this little area that I have folded in when I go over it. So you want to make sure that it's close enough to the edge that it's going to grab those folded pieces as you go around over that spot. So I'm going to push it in just a little bit, and probably more like 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. And there is a little spot inside my presser foot that has a little opening, and I can see the edge of my fabric will line up with the opening that's inside my presser foot. I don't know if I can get close enough for y'all to see that. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Maybe. Okay. There's a little opening right here. See that? It's kind of like an oval shape. And that allows me to see the fabric that's going under it as it comes through. And so I can see right here at the edge of this opening, I can see that edge of my fabric is right, just ever so slightly visible right there. And I'm just going to follow that all the way down and around as I go. So I'm going to lower my needle. It's going to be a little bit thicker, so be careful here. I have paint and coffee grunge all over my hands, so I apologize. Y'all know I've been painting and grunging all morning, and I've washed my hands I don't know how many times, and it's still there. Okay, let's go. Back stitch when you start and when you stop. Now this you might want to go a little bit slower because you have lots of other thicknesses to take into account here, okay? If you go too fast with that kind of a thickness, your needle could potentially break on you. All right. And if you have to, you might have to just kind of help push it through just a little bit. You're not going to like shove it through, but if it kind of feels like it's kind of being a little sluggish, you might want to do that. Yes, you definitely could use a walking foot, Angelica, and I have one that's supposed to be delivered, I think tomorrow or Friday. I have ordered a walking foot, and a walking foot helps pull your fabric through the top and the bottom. So there's something under here called feed dogs underneath your fabric, and this is what kind of helps move. It helps push your fabric through, okay? It helps feed it through. The top doesn't have that, okay? And it's fine for thinner, tight projects, But for something that gets a little bit thicker, it helps to have something that feeds it and pushes it through both from the top and the bottom. And that's what she was asking about, is a walking foot. A lot of quilters use a walking foot. And so this is just an attachment, and you can change this out. And so I have ordered a walking foot for projects like this, and will help push those things through there a little bit easier. But we're gonna give it a go, and I think it'll still work just fine. Yeah. Sometimes you just kind of have to go slow, watch it, baby it a little bit, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. All right. Now we're getting close to that little spot where we want to have, we have that little angle that we need to kind of pivot a little bit. Oop, I need to stop with my needle down so I don't lose my place. All right. Now let's tilt it just a little bit, and let's go down this side. Sometimes you kind of have to give it just a little bit of tug from the back. So from the back of my fabric, I might want to also just give it a little bit of tug just to kind of keep the momentum going so that it doesn't get all bundled up under there. And that's okay to do that. You just don't want to pull it too much. So you can see that stitch line down the side there. Isn't that's perfect. That is perfect. All right, now this is the side where I have my opening that I'm approaching. So as I get closer to this opening, I want to make sure that these sides are pinched together and completely folded in so that that's going to grab everything and seal it closed, okay? So I am probably going to go just a tiny bit slower on this side, and as I go, I'm going to be sure and watch as I get there to make sure that it grabs what I need it to. Okay, I'm going to go a couple more stitches. Okay, now I'm getting right here to my opening. I apologize if I'm getting in front of the camera. I'm trying not to, but all right, I'm going to take these clips off, and I'm just going to hold it with my fingers and press it down as I feed it through. Stepping on the gas. Stepping on the gas. Okay, one more stitch, and then we'll pivot it just a little bit. All right, I think everything's pinched together. I think we're good. Hold your breath. We sailed through that little mountain. Climb that mountain, rather. I don't think you can sail through a mountain, can we? I need to go one more stitch to get close enough to the edge here. There we go. All right. Now this is our last full side that we have to go. So let me make sure that I just get a little bit of momentum going here, that it doesn't get stuck. There we go. We're good. Okay. Now tilt it just a little. Our last corner, and this little section, this right here is where we started, so I just have to sew right up to that point, and then we'll be done. We'll be done. We'll try it on for size. How about that? We'll have a fashion show. We'll try it on some bowls. Right. Stitching all the way down this, getting to that little thick spot here. Okay, I need to pivot just a little. Okay, I have a thread tail on this one right here. I'm going to go ahead and snip it off just so it doesn't get in my way. Right. And when I get close to that starting point, I want to make sure that my thread or my line, my stitch line, is going to be matching up right to where I started so that it completely closes it up. And back stitch, and we are done. So now let's pull this away from the machine and let's cut these thread tails. We'll clean up any other thread tails that we may have. And then we are going to try this on. Okay. We're done with Lady Singer. Uh-oh. I see I didn't grab it right there. Shucks. So I will probably kind of go over that. What I'll do is I might use my seam ripper right there and rip that seam out. Refold it just a little bit. Let me show you there. See that? I didn't quite grab it good enough right there. But I can take my little seam ripper. Let me show you. Where's that little seam ripper? I can take my little seam ripper, okay? And what I can do is I can just find that little stitch and I can go under it and clip it, okay? Clip those stitches out, refold just this little section, refold just that little section and stitch back over it. It's no biggie. Now let me zoom out so I can see y'all again. Okay. Any other thread tails that I did not grab? Okay. Now, is this not the cutest thing you ever did see? Okay, so this is your bowl cozy. Your bowl cozy that you can put your bowls in, your soup bowls, when you put them in the microwave, warming up your soup, and you want something to hold it, or maybe just to protect it from your table, your countertop. Put it right in there, and this is your bowl cozy. Is that not perfect? And instead of even touching your bowl, you can use the corners to grab it, and it's going to just hold it. Just like so. Just like so. Isn't that cool? Now, I think that's a bigger bowl. That's more like a, I don't know what kind of bowls you want to call that one. That's probably like more for like soup for sure. These are like a smaller, maybe cereal size. But you can see, look, it's gonna fit lots of different sizes of bowls because you've got that openness there. I wish I had another bigger bowl back here. I mean, this one's pretty big. I know it doesn't look big on camera, but it's pretty big and it holds it just fine. And there you go. Right? Isn't that cute? So you're basically just stitching those corners and sides together. And look what we've got. We've got our little, so far we've got our little mini hot pad, our little candle warmer hot pad. We have our little key fob wristlet, okay? And now we have a coordinating little bowl cozy. This is going to go together as a perfect little gift set. How dandy is that? Hi, Miss Becky. You love bowl cozies? Perfect, right? And who can't use a bowl cozy? I mean, anybody. So get creative with your fabric choices. If you want to mix and match some winter colors, I think that would be great. But, as I was telling you, I pull out all my fabrics and I like to kind of mix and match and find coordinating fabrics that kind of complement each other. This is the perfect project for that, okay? Perfect project to use some of your scraps. Maybe you don't have a big enough piece of fabric to make something big, but it's still enough. This is a 10-inch square. So if you have a 10-inch square, you can do it. You can do it. I think it probably could help your soup stay warmer longer. I would definitely think so. All right. How dandy. So are you going to make one? When I use the seam ripper, will it make my other stitches come out because they are not knotted? What I will do with that, Miss Teddy, I will, when I stitch that out, or when I break those stitches to fix this, I will start and I will stop over top of the stitches that are still there. You know what I mean? And by doing so, it will help lock them into place. Okay, as long as I can start and stop right over top of those existing stitches, you're good. Okay, so you should be fine with that. So just keep in mind that you want to use 100% cotton for your fabric, your batting, and your thread. Okay, because we want these to be microwave friendly. You want to be 100% cotton. All right. Okay. I'll make a smaller one for Saturday starter. Perfect. Yeah, you can make these larger and bigger, or I mean larger and smaller. And I've seen them make them for as big enough to handle like pie pans, pie plates, pie dishes. And I've even seen them as big to handle like a regular size plate. You know, if you put like in your glass plates in the microwave, and when you go to pull them out, a lot of times they are hotter than your food itself. So you're like, oh my gosh, you know, but they're kind of an odd shape. Like you can't really use a pot holder to grab it, right? You just like, you grab onto the edges and you just hope for the best. You're like, to make it to the counter. Well, this takes that work out of it. You know, you can just grab the corners. Even if you just grab two opposite corners, you know, it's going to hold it for you because of that shape and the little darts that we put in it. Okay. It has a little cupping effect. All right. I'm so excited, Miss Mary. Miss Mary won our primitive snowman. So this little primitive snowman is going to be coming to Miss Mary's house just in time for a northeast winter. And I hope he warms your home, Miss Mary. So we're so excited. Miss Mary Snyder was our raffle winner for that. I'm thinking about doing something like that every month, having a raffle, because these projects take a lot of time. And I think it would be a good way for me to give back to you all as well. You know, I can no longer do the primitive sewing collections because there's so much demand and there's only one of me. I am looking into some alternatives for that will kind of help still meet the need for that and the desire for those. But I have to revamp my way of thinking because it's just not physically possible for me to create 200, you know, sewn shapes and pieces of something like that. And so be on the lookout coming for next year. I'm going to be coming up with some new ideas for you all to keep you busy with your primitive crafting and home decorating. All right. Okay. I think we have a little bit of time before our next creator comes up live in the Craft on the Clock group. So it's 3:25 right now. I think we have about 20